Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. December 20th, A.J. Freeman. After A.J. became totally blind, he heard the gospel from a nurse where he was hospitalized. He grabbed onto the word of truth and climbed out of a severe depression. From there, A.J. went to the School of the Blind and learned a craft. He learned how to make brooms. Before long, he opened a factory and employed 15 men who made 600 brooms a day for him. In his spare time, he preached the gospel. A.J. longed to preach more, but he had to support his family. Then, one day, he came home and found his 10-year-old daughter teaching a group of children about Jesus, and the children were responding. A.J. took this as confirmation of his calling, and he took his little daughter as his preaching partner and guide. On this date, in 1903, A.J. was ordained in the Swedish Free Church of Moline, Illinois. Challenges in a man's life are resources in God's hands. Many people consider blindness a hurdle, but on A.J. Freeman's first day as a preacher, it was clear nothing was going to slow him down. Freeman's preaching always drew a crowd, and he was grateful they showed up, even if it was only out of sympathy or fascination. Freeman didn't preach in front of stained glass windows or before a pulpit. He worked from a church on wheels called Palmquist's Memorial, and the mobile church was powered by 2 horses. It's hard to imagine a blind minister traveling around the state of Illinois with nothing but his young daughter to guide him. But God went before Freeman and provided everything he needed to answer his calling. On that first day, as Freeman prepared to share Jesus with the local townspeople, there was some confusion as people mistook Palmquist's Memorial for a fish cart, since the two looked remarkably similar. With money in hand, a man approached the cart. "What kinds of fish are you selling?" "I'm not a fisherman, but a fisher of men," Freeman told the visitor. Soon, another local approached, believing that Freeman was selling medicine. Freeman explained that the only medicine he had to offer was the good news of the gospel. The blind minister and his horse-drawn church on wheels proved to be an irresistible oddity for many, but Freeman didn't mind. Children came from all over town to climb the mobile church and inspect its underside. "Mister," a little one said, "my mother gave me bread to feed the horses. May I?" Every question and conversation made an opportunity for Freeman to scope out the hearts of those he spoke with and to share the good news of God's saving grace. A.J.'s blindness was an asset, not an obstacle. It's like the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 12, 4-7. There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in every one, it is the same God at work. Now to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. The obstacle before you may be difficult. Take the first step to overcome it. Challenges in a man's life are resources in God's hands. Thank you for listening to today's story. Every day of the year, our hope is to inspire you with real-life stories of faithful men who have gone before us. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." Join us tomorrow for another story at 365christianmen.com.